Hi folks, and welcome into another edition of This Week in Pearl. I'm your host Frank Hutton, and I'm excited to bring you another edition of Under the Dome, where I'm going to have Senator Dean Kirby and Representative Gene Newman. We're going to talk about the deadlines that just finished, actually today, that just finished, and what bills are coming out of committee. We're going to talk about some of the things that have already been transferred between the House and the Senate, and kind of what the next deadlines are. So stay right there. When we come back, we'll go under the dome. We'll be right back.
Here in Pearl, we have Trustmark Park. It seats 8,500 people. It's a great venue that we have here locally. You can catch a baseball game. We have a new team, the Mississippi Mud Monsters, so we're so excited about that. And Trustmark Park, the stadium's been fully renovated. And adjacent to that, we have Bass Pro Shop, as well as the Mississippi outlets that people can come shop and enjoy and have a great time. So it's a good place to come. It's a destination spot for our city. We did a $12 million renovation to our Parks and Rec several years ago, and what we were missing was another key area for our children to come and just be able to hang out and have fun, but also have some playground equipment that was really cutting edge. I've always thought if you can get your community together, then you can have a stronger sense of community. And I think that's what Main Street brings to the table for us. And even though we're a post-World War II city and our architectural doesn't signify a downtown, we're trying to have an area that we create that people can come together and have a sense of community.
And welcome back into another edition of This Week in Pearl, where we are again going under the dome with our wonderful guests that we bring in each and every week, Senator Dean Kirby and Representative Gene Newman. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy
Good
President's
morning.
Day.
Yeah.
Welcome into
Isn't
another.
this George Washington's birthday?
And George Washington's birthday today as well, yes.
Yeah.
I think we just call it President's Day and lump him in there.
Well, he shouldn't be lumped in there. It should stay George Washington's birthday.
The founder of the country.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just the founder.
He was the driving force, first president, so I could see how it kind of fits.
I mean, I don't know what other president we're trying to honor, but that we should stick with honoring him.
Well, I don't disagree. I don't agree. 250 years today of this year.
That's
So-
wonderful.
Isn't that something?
I wasn't even alive then.
No, you weren't.
Wait, I thought you was in the House the Senate back then.
Oh Lord! But anyway, y'all have been busy. Y'all have had a lot
Yes.
going on. We were just discussing off camera, getting ready. Y'all have had a lot going on.
Yeah.
So let's try to kind of tell everybody where we are. Today is the motions for what do you actually call it? Reconsider. Your motions to reconsider. If it doesn't get a motion to reconsider, it's dead. Now, as we've established on this program, there's 3 levels of dead.
Right.
We're only at the second level of
We're
dead.
only the second dead, not
Right,
the dead.
we're only
dead,
at the
dead.
second dead. So
Yeah.
today is it, right?
Yeah, right. And most of those bills on a motion to reconsider the bills, most of them failed, and somebody wants to bring them back up. If they fail, they're going to fail again. So we won't see them again.
So I had one on the motion to reconsider that after we passed it through the House, we figured out that it had a mistake in it, and we was supposed to get the mistake fixed. And the person who had found the mistake had held it on the motion. We didn't get it fixed in time, and so we missed that deadline. So
Gotcha.
it's still on there, but the issue's not fixed. So I know that there's one coming over from the Senate, so I will let it die on the calendar.
I got you. So you'll just use the Senate version.
Correct.
Yeah, and we probably last week, we had over 200 bills, as we said last week still, and those were the controversial bills.
Right.
We probably had 25 of those were never brought up. And the reason some of them were brought up, the House maybe had already passed them. It's got to pass both chambers.
Right.
So.
Right. All right. So one of the ones we've been discussing that I really just want to dive into because it's affected so many people in North Mississippi is both of you guys have done something with MEMA, and you guys passed a bill that you've forwarded over to the House
For 20 million.
for 20 million. Kind of explain what that's for.
Well, it's to help those people in North Mississippi that, as I had stated before, for the hurricane of the north, the ice storm that they had, and those people, some are still suffering up there. But yeah, we put $20 million from the general fund to go to MEMA to distribute to the cities and the counties as needed.
Right.
Yeah, so the House has another bill
say now
that
the
takes care
House-
of some other things.
Right,
and I'm in favor of that.
You've got one that's similar.
Well, it's not. It doesn't have funding in it.
Right.
But what it does is establishes a fund, so that if a federal declaration is not declared, is my understanding what this bill does. If a federal declaration is not declared, and the state needs a vehicle to be able to fund help when a tornado in one county or something like that, the state needs a vehicle in order to fund that to FEMA. So that's what this is.
So your bill actually just goes a little further than the Senate version,
Yeah,
Yeah, except his has got money and ours
and
don't.
yours doesn't.
Right.
So
we'll
that-
work it out.
and y'all will work that, and I can see where actually I kind of like the House version better, there, Senator, because it.
Well, if it had money in it, I might too.
Right, but I mean, I like the structure of the way that you're doing it.
Well, I've said this before. I want to make sure that the people that need it get it.
Right.
And that it's not all spent on the cities and county stuff. Whatever amount it is, we need to help those that need to help the most.
But the deal up north of ice storm is a declared federal disaster.
Sure.
So, or at least I think I know they've asked for it. I don't know whether the president's ever actually declared it, but that's going to have federal money and stuff being allocated to that. What we're talking about is if there's no federal money involved, it's just
Right.
state money.
Right, which is what I like. I like that because there could be those, as you meant, those one-offs, a tornado or something where there's not a federal disaster declared, but a state disaster declared by the governor, and you're giving a vehicle. It just needs to be funded somehow. And the Senate bill funds something for that. So the two of you all need to get in a
We
room
will.
and figure out how to merge those two together, right?
And I'm sure it's probably the same code sections.
We both have members that were directly affected by this. This is not just something that happens.
Sure.
This is something that happened to family, and we're so. I mean, we got. I mean, both of us have individual members that were really hurt by this.
Yeah.
So we got one that's still out.
I was going to say there's still people without power
Right.
to
Oh,
this day. What'd you say the number is right now? Like 5,000?
I think it's around
the
five.
last I heard
Last
was like
me too.
5,000.
That's
So-
still 5,000 too many.
Right.
Yeah, we were blessed in Rankin County.
No
let me tell
kidding.
you.
I mean, to have power still out after these many weeks later
Yeah.
for those people, and this is rural Mississippi.
Well, it's out because the power companies can't get there to repair it. The first thing they'll do is get all the debris, all the trees,
Right,
and
right.
everything off the road so they can even get to
and
it.
I
to
think we
repair it.
also mentioned that some of these are smaller municipal power companies. They're owned by the city.
Yeah.
They're run by the city.
Co-ops.
They're co-ops,
Yeah.
basically, right?
Yeah.
And they just have challenges and issues and
Right.
struggles. Is there anything that the state can do going forward, maybe to head this off from happening again? I mean, hindsight's always
I
20/20.
think the Public Service Commission's working on a plan to do something for the future if something like this ever comes up again.
And remember, we had like 1,600 trucks up there, over 1,600, with boom trucks
Right.
from other states and
Sure.
other co-ops.
Right.
They're working day and night.
Especially
And
states
shifts.
and I appreciate them coming in, especially states that deal with snow and ice
Oh, yeah.
every year. They understand
That's right.
how that is. They have the equipment for that.
That's right.
They probably came down, I'm sure, and helped North Mississippi and Tennessee and all Arkansas. And all that. It just got devastated.
And you got to remember, just getting there was a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, trucks were on the road, on the interstate, stopped for 2 and 3 days.
I alluded to the generator company, last week that works on our generators here, and they had spent, the last several weeks all up in North Mississippi. All of them. They had to push us off because they were helping getting power
Sure.
back on.
And that's
you
what
know,
they
in
should
North
do.
Mississippi. And one of the guys was telling me, he said it was 5 to 10 miles an hour just trying to drive up there because the ice was just so bad on the roads. You couldn't do any kind of speed. Just wasn't going to happen. Took a long time. But anyway, so that's a good thing.
We're working on it.
Was that on your bingo card this year that y'all would be doing?
No.
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 That might be the surprise. You know,
Is that the
I said
surprise bill of
earlier,
the year?
every year we have one surprise.
Is that it?
I hope that's
Well,
it.
I don't know that that's it though.
Uh-oh.
I hope it is.
I hope it is too, but I'm afraid.
You know, Frank, by the way, this is our, 42nd or
Yeah.
43rd day of session of the
Yes.
90-day session.
we're
So
not-
we're about halfway
You're
there.
getting close to halfway there.
Yeah.
That is correct. All right, so over on the Senate side, let's move into a couple
you
of
still have your calendar. You still have your time counter there.
I didn't pull it
took
up
it off. Oh,
today. I did a couple of weeks ago where I was counting how many days and,
Yeah.
and all that. I'll have to go back and pull that up next time. I'll have it next time. I'll have it next time. But we had a big announcement. You know, it came out in the papers and about Siemens that's coming to Rankin County, specifically into Pearl. And that's a rising tide that's going to raise all boats around here, obviously, because that's going to help Brandon, Richland, Florence, Flo. It's going to help everybody in Rankin County. That's
So that place is going to have more jobs than the big data center that they're putting in Brandon.
right.
I've said this before. When I moved to Pearl, the largest industry we had was a 300-pound Avon woman. Things have changed in Rankin County.
She was a force of nature, probably.
Yes, things have changed
They have-
for the better.
For the better.
And I'm
Yes.
very proud of Rankin County
Oh,
and
absolutely.
all we've accomplished.
And all that you've been able to accomplish. But I mean, with Siemens coming in, one of the things that you guys had, that y'all have moved on to the House, is the Upskill Act. Now, this allows non-traditional students, which would be non-traditional would be somebody like myself, or have been in the workforce, maybe just we've been out of school for a while. For me, it's been.
You're talking about old people.
Right, old people, old fogies like me. I mean, I've been out of school 30 years, so I mean, it's
You're an
well,
old
a little
man.
longer than that. But with Siemens and stuff, this is pretty cool because it allows non-traditional students to return to community college, and here's the kicker: tuition free,
That's right.
to earn a certificate, license, or degree in a high-demand career field, which that would be one. So,
Absolutely.
Hines has the Votech Center.
And Hines works well with our businesses,
And they
I
work-
want to tell you. So it's a big deal. And
This
it'll
is
get
Senate
people,
Bill 2522, if anybody wants to go read
Yeah,
it.
and not only will Siemens use that, I would think, but also people will say, hey, I want to apply for a job out there. I want to go ahead and get this degree. And I want to do whatever they need. I want to be qualified when I fill out the application.
And that's a great thing if you want to, if your field has kind of gone away, or you want to just completely pivot to something else. This is a great opportunity that costs you nothing, as long as it survives the
Yeah,
House.
that's kind of that camel under the tent you were talking about.
Yeah.
Because Lieutenant Governor has emphasized and pushed several times that he wants community colleges to be free, period. How
Well,
about that?
I don't know how I feel about that because anything you work hard for and pay for, you generally take care of. It's worth getting.
Yeah.
So when you just start handing stuff out, then it kind of changes the way.
Well, in other words, it'll be the 13th and 14th year of school instead of 12.
Yeah, but I mean, even though public school is not free, I'm still paying for it
Yeah.
because I pay property taxes,
That's
and
right.
sales tax,
And you're paying for your community college,
and I'm paying
too.
for the community college as well. So it's
And your
technically not
taxes.
free. If I choose not to send my kid there and send them to a charter school, then I'm paying double.
Yeah.
So that's anyway. So I don't know how I feel about that. The jury's out for me
Well,
on whether I want it to be completely free.
A lot of, I'm not saying other states, I know a lot of other countries do that.
My thoughts are on this, and then Gene, I want to hear what you think about it. My thoughts on this really, because the workforce environment is changing, this gives people a vehicle to be able to move to something else that would not put them in debt to do it.
Yeah.
And I
Well, I think it's a
I
great
do
idea.
appreciate that
And we need
from
it.
that and I appreciate y'all sending that on. Thoughts on this?
Well, I think the majority of the jobs that we have in the state of Mississippi do not require college education.
Right.
And anything that we can do to help people that are out there struggling, trying to make a living, and if we can help them upgrade to a better job, that's what we need to do.
Yeah, and you talk about it a lot.
I talk about it a lot.
You do.
It's very important. And you know, one of the things that I'm proud to see the high school is doing is they're taking the old Central Station and turning that into a workforce development area for high school students. And I believe, if I remember correctly, that Siemens is one of the businesses that are already participating with that for them to start out with.
Good. That's fantastic. And I know that and as you pointed out, most of the jobs in the state of Mississippi don't require, a college degree. Now, you get paid more if you have if you've got your high school graduation or your GED. If you've got your junior college, there's
Associates.
your associates, and then of course your bachelor's when you move on to a senior college level. Your income rises based off of that. That's the world we live in.
Well, I hate to hurt your feelings, but there's a lot of mechanics and welders out there right now that are making a whole lot more than what people with 4-year degrees ever thought about.
Which is exactly where I was going to pivot to, because what we've gotten away from are the trades, and the plumbers, the electricians, the welders, the construction guys. Those guys do really well. Especially somebody that's business savvy and I know a bunch.
Yeah, AI can't replace that.
AI
either.
can't replace. You're always going to need somebody that can weld, and those guys make a very good living.
And should.
Yeah. And we should encourage more of this, and that's why I like this community college tuition free, because it's encouraging more of the trades. Yeah. We need more of that. We need shop class back in school.
Yeah, we need home economics back in school.
Yeah,
People need to
shop
to be able to have some fundamental of how to feed themselves.
Shop and automotive.
Well, we've talked a lot on this show this year about school choice, and thank goodness I'm glad that most all that's dead, and I hope it doesn't get resurrected. That's Frank's opinion, but clearly, I hope it does not get resurrected. But there are some parts in there of these things, and as we're talking about education. And this financial literacy requirement, this is coming out of the Senate. Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, you're talking about the one for the community colleges and IHL?
Yes.
The senior college.
Completion of a financial literacy curriculum as part of earning a post-secondary degree.
Sure, the majority of the people in the Senate just feel like that if you're going to graduate from community college or a major university, you ought to know how to write a check. Mm-hmm. You ought to understand debits and credits. You ought to understand how to keep books. It's just that simple. Why
do we not teach this anymore?
Well, we don't. I don't know, but it should be taught, and that's why we're doing that. So, wouldn't you feel like an idiot to have a college degree and not know how to write a check?
Right, and obviously most people
understand how they work,
or just balance your bank account.
Like the girl that I know that called her dad and said, "You need to change banks." I said, "Why? That bank doesn't have any money. All my checks came back." Now that girl was in college. I'm serious. And
that's a true story.
That's a true story. I promise you. And she had several checks to McDonald's and places like that for like $4 and $6 and all, and the bank was charging Daddy $35 a check, and she had I don't know 40 or 50 of them that she had written. A true story. Anyway,
you need to change banks, Dad, because
the bank
doesn't have any money in it.
Yes, and we need for those kids to understand where money comes from and how you make money. So I hate to say that's true, but it's true.
So that's forcing civics back in
we're
high
going
school.
to force civics back. We definitely need civics back.
You've got a bill that pushes civics back in that y'all have transmitted over to the House. This Literacy Act is financial literacy for secondary.
That's right.
And I can't believe we don't teach this. I can't believe we're not teaching civics. I can't believe we're not teaching home economics. I can't believe we're not doing shop class. I mean, what happened?
How about physical education?
Physical ed, we could keep going on. I mean, what happened? What happened?
I think somewhere when that No Child Left Behind Act got passed and they narrowed down what they were doing and started all that testing and started doing all that stuff.
Now we teach tests.
All that stuff got pushed to the side, and they focused on what they had to focus on, what federal law was requiring them to focus on, and it's just gotten worse and worse, and the nature of a bureaucracy.
Yes, and it takes a long time to dismantle something like that. It's not an overnight process.
No.
And this helps, obviously.
Yeah, I hope so.
You
That's
know,
the purpose.
The thing that my wife and I talk about a lot is she really would like to see home economics put back in, but the problem is who's going to teach it?
Right.
Those teachers are all gone. I mean, there's
I learned how to sew.
there's a few still out there somewhere that
Right. I learned how to sew a pillow and blanket and quilt and
Sew a
balance
button
my
on.
checkbook and cook breakfast and
I mean,
all.
if they say you learn how to cook a little bit, you
Yeah.
learn how to at least make a sandwich. But we got people out here who can't feed themselves. If McDonald's and Wendy's and places like that aren't open, and they can't go use their debit card,
I know.
they're going to starve.
I'm not trying to be funny on this either, but they asked this girl on TV where the eggs come from, and she said Kroger.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell on myself too, and I won't give all the details, but I'll tell a little bit on myself too. So I'm attending a football game. Everybody that knows me knows where I do that. So I'm attending a football game, and my kids are with me, and they're fairly young. And as we're walking out, I passed by this particular location where the limousines and stuff pick up all those people. And as we're walking through, most of them are knee walking drunk and falling out and all this, and they're just laid out, right? And it's bad. And as I explained to my kid, I said, son, I want to explain something to y'all real quick. You see, and I said this line where everybody could hear me. I said, you see this line of human debris right here? They're the ones that are going to die first when Armageddon happens, just so you know. Because they can't do it. I mean, they don't have any wherewithal to be able to do it. Common sense. What happened to common sense? And it seems like we're losing that from.
We are.
And now, y'all have done some, the Mississippi Miracle Educate. We talked about this year extensively on the program, that Mississippi's leading in some of these areas. This is some more of that that you guys are doing to try to repair this No Child Left Behind mess that we got stuck with. And I'm so glad that we see Secretary Kennedy getting rid of that ridiculous food pyramid that we've had to live with for the last 50 years. That has sickened everybody, and I've been an advocate for that anyway. I don't want to get off on that too far. But let's finish up with you, Senator, because the other thing that we really picked out that's really come out of the Senate over this last week are two PERS bills. They did finally come out of the Senate. Y'all passed them on. Is 2209, which is the service requirement for Tier 5. You went from 35 years to 30. And then 2911 is the return to work, where you reduce the mandatory sit-out period from 90 days to 30 days.
That's correct.
And you increase, this is the other thing, you increase allowable compensation from 50% to 80%.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
one slipped by me. I didn't catch that myself. Not that I wouldn't vote for it.
Right,
I did vote for it.
What an incentive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, to get good employees back where you have employee shortages, just like teachers, it's the same thing. So, yeah. And the 90 to 30 just makes sense.
It does.
So,
and then you're
you only
increasing
have to sit out
compensation. That's
30 days. Yeah.
And it doesn't affect the retirement, because y'all specifically have language, because I read it.
Yeah,
it doesn't affect retirement or anything like that. Increasing to 80% does not affect your retirement. None of that's affected.
Yeah.
It's just the requirement of being able to come back to work. And that's been transmitted over to you guys. Thoughts?
We had something similar
Yeah.
in that HB 2. So
Right. That survives, probably.
I would think we do what we can to try to pass that. But
The reason why I say that is social media is all a buzz because of HB2 just getting absolutely pounded to death over. I mean, it didn't even get out of. I mean, it just immediately got voted.
No, listen to me just a minute. That's see.
It gives you an opportunity to come on social media.
The Facebook stuff, but this is the reality. So that bill, we passed it out of the House. It goes over to the Senate. and it's there for 3 weeks.
Over two.
It was over 2 weeks that it had been there. And they already knew about the bill because they'd seen it in the House. They already knew what was coming. They've had plenty of time to look at it, read it, digest it, and you know.
And we had time also, Gene, for people to start calling and texting and emailing, where you guys kind of did it pretty quickly, like
right.
for a few days.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So I said social media's been
I
all
don't, when I say you guys, I'm not talking about you.
I'm all pointing out the fact that social media is all of us, man. Everybody's, you got a lot of people that are real upset about it, and you got a lot of people who are real happy about it, and they're keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
Right. Of course, a lot of people follow that, and news follows that. I don't agree with it, but I'm just pointing out that that's where that is.
But don't forget, we did pass the Portability Act.
Yes.
Where a school has to release a kid.
Yes, and sent that over to the House.
We did, but that bill strictly leaves up to the school district.
Right.
They want to accept someone, they can.
Well, where I was going with some of this is some of that stuff that's come out, you guys now have, and do you see the House maintaining any of that?
I have no idea. I mean, I'm
I know you're
not
not
on
committee.
education.
I know you're not on education committee, but I just want the hall
Nor am
talk, the scuttlebutt, behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes at the House is everybody wants to know, what do you think they're going to do? What do you think they're going to do?
So
I expect them to, they may not take our bill, may just kill it, but I would think they would take it in education and amend it and send it back to us, and we end up going to conference.
Right.
I don't know that. I mean, like you, I
don't know. I don't know what they'll do.
okay, well, just checking. All right, so other thing I wanted to cover real quick, Senate Bill 2294, Future Innovators Act, it advanced earlier. You've also got and that's part of that school. The Future Innovators Act is teaching computer science, teaching it in high school. Computer literacy. Y'all advanced that on over.
We did.
The other thing that
They're trying to catch up with Pearl.
That's it.
Yeah, right. Expansion of literacy intervention. We talked about this last week. The 4th through 8th grade on mathematics. Moving that's all been moved over. And then one of the things that you talked about specifically, and I don't think people understand this, about child abusers.
Oh yeah.
Child abuse. Y'all have moved this on over to the House.
We have. We had a bill that simply says that if someone's convicted as a child abuser or offender, they have. Of course, now they have to be registered.
Mm-hmm.
So if a child abuser's moved into your neighborhood or whatever. Well, the bill we had just simply said that they can't get away with what some have gotten away with by legally changing their name. Therefore, no one knows they're a child abuser or a sex offender or whatever. But it's. I think it was like a $2,500 fine, and I don't remember if it was 1 year
Probably
or up
1
to
year.
3 years in prison.
Okay.
But people were doing that, and just legally changing their name, and that's not the purpose of the law. The law is to let everyone know if you're the new guy next door or lady next door is a child abuser, sex offender, whatever.
And they can't unless they move out of state. I guess
That's
they would
right.
have to move out of state.
And some have.
Which
Even if they move out of state, the sex offender register laws still requires them to register wherever they go.
wherever they
That's
go,
right.
exactly.
That's right.
If you say that's still a requirement.
Yeah.
So if they moved to Alabama, they would still have to register with
And
Alabama.
if they don't register, then there's a law in Alabama that they will get charged with a felony and probably wind up like Mississippi doing another 10 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So it just strengthens all of that.
That's right.
But it keeps you from changing your name to try to circumvent that.
Right.
That's
Right.
exactly right.
I'm Frank Hutton. I get confused, convicted of being a child abuser, and I go decide to change my name over to Gene Newman, and now I introduce myself as Gene Newman,
Nobody knows the difference. And that is your name.
and that stops all of that.
That is your name.
Right. Which I appreciate. Thank you.
Oh, you're
All right, so
wasn't my bill, but I'll take credit for it.
I know. Well,
No, this is a good bill.
It's a good bill. Why didn't we do that before? I mean,
We just
why did we do
didn't-
that before?
Because they hadn't done it before.
Right.
Now they've caught them doing it, so now it's
Yeah.
got to fix it.
Got to fix it. All right, so pivoting over to the fun side. Y'all have a lot of fun over there on the house.
Yeah,
Y'all-
right.
Y'all really do. You
We're doing something bold and new every day.
I know, right? You guys, you put out the, on your Facebook. I encourage people to go to Representative Newman's Facebook page. He puts out something every week on Friday of what happened that week, and so I used it a lot.
I give full credit to Renee Dyer, our House Information Officer.
for assembling all of this for
Right.
you, but thank you for sharing what she puts together. But I want to cover a couple of things, because we're not going to cover all of this. But one of the things that you mentioned that's come out of the House Bill 520 is child support enforcement versus the gaming winnings.
Right.
Getting basically deadbeat parents to pay for their children has always been an issue. What does this do?
So this would require the casinos to withhold any winnings that they have above $2,000. They would put a threshold in there. So if it's above $2,000, anything they win, and they have to check the thing from
The database.
the database to see whether or not they have
Yeah, we have
outstanding
that
child
too.
support. And if they do, then this would require the casinos to seize that money.
I got it. So they would then transmit that, I guess, to
Right.
the state
Right.
to be
Right.
dispersed. Okay, so
To
that's
Child Protective Services.
to
Right.
CPS.
Yeah.
And then CPS gives that money to the
To the
parent,
parent, right.
who's taking care of that child.
Right.
So you have to hit the threshold's 2,000. Is it the same in the Senate?
Yeah.
So that's so you're transmitting that over to that one probably survives.
Yeah, one of those two will.
Yeah, because
I don't care whose bill it is, as long as it gets done.
that's such an issue though, Gene, to get parents to pay for their children that they bring into this world. It's part of a larger problem, obviously.
And the arguments that were used against this didn't make any sense. It just,
How can you argue against this?
they do.
I know, but I mean, how?
We had a big debate on that, actually. Some of the Democrats did not like that bill.
Okay. I just can't imagine why. Why is this a bad thing? If I go to the casino and I owe a bunch of child support because I fathered a child and I'm not paying for it, that's just all kind of wrong in my opinion.
Yeah.
But how? Okay. I don't know. I'm at a loss. I don't know. All right. The House Bill 525, mandatory minimum for sexual battery.
Yeah. So you have judges who want to show some love and will let folks off without the proper amount of time on sexual battery, and that's wrong.
Yeah. Here again, are we really having to do this? We have judges.
We're not talking about our judges.
I know, but I'm just talking about in the state.
In the state.
We have judges who are letting off child predators for sexual battery just with a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
And we're having to do this.
And we're having to do this.
So just for people to understand, it establishes a mandatory minimum prison sentence for certain sexual battery convictions, including a minimum of 5 years for specified first offenses and enhanced penalties for repeat offenders. Courts may issue criminal sexual assault protection orders prohibiting contact with victims with penalties for violations. I just can't imagine that we have judges in this state
We have judges in this state.
that do that. And we had to codify this in law that it's just
That's
not.
right.
Again, I hearken back with common sense. What happened to common sense? All right. Okay, so the other day, because the next one I want to get into just a little bit, the other day I happened to just drive into my convenience store right here in Pearl, Mississippi, and as I was doing so, there was a plethora of green-suited military almost looking folks that had U.S. Border and Customs official regalia all over them, and they were doing an operation right here in Pearl, Mississippi, taking out probably one of those bad hombres that Trump likes to talk about, because it was one particular individual. But you guys have moved on a bill 538 for sanctuary policies, expanding the prohibition on sanctuary policies, requiring state and local governments and entities. Why are we doing that?
Well, everybody hears about sanctuary cities.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Which we are not.
No.
we have them in this state. So
Do
this-
we now?
This would stop
Yeah.
that.
Really? We have sanctuary cities that declare themselves sanctuary cities in the state of Mississippi. Really? Okay. And so what does this do exactly? I mean, it authorizes the Attorney General to investigate and prosecute violations. It also removes the sovereign
So-
immunity for
so-
noncompliance.
So if a county declares itself a sanctuary county and the sheriff interferes with ICE making an arrest, or they release somebody out of their jail that should have been held for ICE, they're liable under this law.
I got it. So that's where it removes that immunity. So
Right.
now you're prosecutable.
Right.
For
Not
sanctuary
only
policies.
prosecutable, but you're also civilly liable. So
Wow. And so we all advanced that to the Senate. Was there anything like that in
I
the Senate?
don't, nothing came out of committee, I don't
No,
know.
I don't
like
think
like
y'all have
that.
anything.
So
Yeah,
this
no.
is
This is-
House originated.
Right.
Okay. Well, I think it's a good policy. I'm for it. It's what everybody voted for. So I'm for that. But that's pretty cool. And then moving on, there was one other one that I really wanted to jump on because it really affects everybody. And this being in the state of Mississippi and the Bible Belt, you have the Mississippi Open to Religion Act. Now, for those who don't understand what this actually does, it requires public schools and non-sectarian charter schools to offer a daily voluntary period of prayer and Bible or religious text reading. Now,
Okay. So this does not create another period.
right.
It simply allows students to gather, just like if it was a beta club or whatever other club they have at school. If they wanted to have a club that they went and studied the Bible for an hour on their own, actually the teacher can participate with it if they want to, but it's all voluntary. But it just says the schools can't stop that. So
And Pearl doesn't have that problem. They allowed this.
right, but
But
They have
other-
voluntary
there are-
prayer now.
Yeah, we have
there are
it.
schools now that in the state of Mississippi that will not allow that.
Okay. And this stops that.
This stops that. This will. This. I mean, it doesn't force anybody to do it. Doesn't. You know. Then the kid has to have permission to be able to join that
To
group.
participate,
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
So if the parent says no,
Right. Then the child
Then-
can't do
right.
it. So.
so it still protects your religious freedoms.
Right.
You're just allowing it to happen in school. Now, this was a huge debate across the country about when Charlie Kirk was assassinated and the Turning Point USA chapters.
Right.
And schools not allowing chapters to be created.
Correct.
This kind of goes along.
This is what this is.
That's what this is. So just trying to help people understand this, because there were many schools that were saying, we're not going to let you open up a Turning Point USA
Right.
chapter. Well, we didn't have any way in the Mississippi Code to stop that.
Right.
Does this mean once it makes its way through,
If it passes the Senate and goes on to the governor, then it becomes law. Then there's a provision in there that if there's a problem, the Attorney General has to step in.
has to step in at that point?
Now, I'm not sure about that. That's just what I think I remember. We did so many bills, I cannot remember.
The Attorney General may provide guidance
Okay, yeah.
and legal defense, and the act does not limit individual prayer or other religious expressions. Now, not necessarily wanting to bring this up, but if I wanted to pray to Allah, I could do that.
Yeah.
If I wanted to have
Whatever you are.
yes, whatever you subscribe to, you can create. Clearly, that's a double-edged sword in some cases, obviously, but it's still, I'm for that. Absolutely. All right, so we're coming up on some deadlines again. Let me see if I understand this right now. This is going to be for floor action on appropriation, revenue bills that originate out
Show
of the
me the
Senate.
money.
So now we're coming up, because that's coming up in a week.
Right.
Yeah.
we've got a week and all of those deadlines come up. So where are we on appropriations?
Well, in the Senate, the whole year, we've been having subcommittee ever since we gavelled in the first day. So
Okay.
42 days ago, we
Sure.
started. Very first day we had an appropriation meeting. So our subcommittees, and I'm sure you guys are doing the same.
Right.
Subcommittees are having hearings, listening to the different state agencies, universities, and everyone else, schools, as to what they need, what their needs and what their wants are, and then we'll try to give them their needs.
Show me the money.
So
Now, what does the state budget look like this year? Do we know?
We got more money than we're supposed to have, so.
we got more money than the state's ever had. The state's in the best financial position it's ever been in.
Okay.
And we got.
And we keep
probably
saying
a
that over and
billion-
over and over.
$1.5 billion, you
Yeah.
know, in revenue excess funds above estimate. So yeah, we're doing really well. But I will say, I said this before, when you start giving out $500 million at a time, it doesn't
Oh, it'll
take
go
long.
quick.
And that's
It'll
what
go
we're
quick.
doing.
Right. Now, obviously, you're going to
So-
put money into PERS
and
all
also,
those. Right.
also the last 2 months, our revenue has leveled off.
Sure.
It's been a steady climb since 20. You know, when the federal money came and all the ARPA money came, all this comes in and we had a steady increase. Now it's leveling off. And so we need to be really careful on recurring expenses.
Now, I want to highlight something we talked about last week. We talked about a lot. LBO,
Yeah.
the Legislative Budget Office. You said they've been within 1%, and they're pretty
Well,
accurate. They're
yes.
pretty accurate on what their forecast
Yes.
is showing, and they're showing
It's
it leveling
usually
off.
right at 1%. And
Right.
when you're dealing with $7 billion, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. So, and I mentioned this because that's what they're forecasting this year, correct? It's kind of a leveling off. But if you start looking at the tea leaves on the federal side, the Dow just hit the highest ever. Unemployment down, inflation down, everything's moving in the right direction.
Sounds like the train's about to jump off track.
That's what I'm fixing to ask.
Well,
I mean,
we all know that anything goes up comes down. So
Sure. Agree. There's always corrections in the
It
market.
is.
I don't disagree. There's always these dips, which I consider buying opportunities.
Yeah.
But that's really what I think. But really, with that, the state may be leveling off this year. But
Yes.
we talked about this last year on this show.
That's right.
That it's a crystal ball. We don't really know. But we're starting to see that some of these policies coming out of Washington are producing good results.
Yeah, they are, but also some of the policies cost the state a lot of money.
Pushing the stuff to the states. But I don't disagree with that.
I'm not
I
saying
would rather manage it here than let the federal government manage it.
Absolutely.
I'm for that. And it's just us retooling our budgets, right?
But those states that did Medicaid expansion are now running deficits.
And I'm not for bailing them out.
No.
I'm not.
Well, they're cutting back.
That's what they
this
need to do.
year.
Tighten your belt.
Yeah.
And y'all figure it out. That's what they should do. I'm not for bailing out California or any other state. They need to figure it out how to do that. But where I was going with that is yes, but the state's in a very good financial position.
We are, and paid off a couple $1 billion while we were doing it and gave pay raises and everything else. So
Teachers get pay raises again this year as long as that comes
Yeah,
through the
put-
House
put
over there. on
money
that
in-
side.
in PERS.
Right, and PERS, all those things. But the appropriations is coming up. It's towards the end of this month.
Yeah.
And it has to be, because come March, y'all start debating.
And
The
they have
budget.
a very good chairman with John Reed. He's
Appropriations Chairman in the House,
Appropriations,
John
and
Reed
then
from
Briggs
Jackson
Hobson.
County.
Briggs
Yeah.
Hobson on our side
Yep.
Right.
does a wonderful job.
So the budget looks sound this year. Are we going to have the issue that we had last year?
We hope not.
It doesn't seem that way.
I hope not.
You don't know. You don't never know what you'll dump that train off the tracks over there.
Just don't know.
Well, that's true.
That's
That's true.
Speculation, but hopefully everything will be fine this year.
Well, I've enjoyed today. I learned so much. You know, we learned so much about what goes on over there. I almost want to call it a circus because it feels like that you've got the Barnum and Bailey Ringling Brothers circus going on over there.
You got plenty of monkeys.
I can tell you when I was presiding last Thursday afternoon, that was the worst presiding of it. It was awful. I mean, points of order, inquiries of the chair, amendments to the amendment to the amendments, and I mean, it was just, oh, Lord, help me get out of here.
Y'all were trying to get to that deadline, right?
Oh yeah, we were on deadline day, and it was awful. And people were tired, been up there late, got there early. Their bills had died, and maybe just died, some of them on the floor, and others just died on the counter or did come out of committee, and there were some very unhappy people.
And when unhappy people pull shenanigans, so they deliberately start slowing stuff down. So
we had to read a bill, the whole deal.
The entirety.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not normal.
No.
Y'all got chipmunks?
We what now?
Do y'all have a chipmunk?
We have a very nice lady's voice that reads it in at a normal thing.
No, we got chipmunks.
Yeah, they do. I've heard their chipmunk. No, we did that, and we had some members object that they couldn't understand it, so we slowed it up and changed it from a man to a woman, and so yeah.
Okay.
So it's pleasant.
A little bit of humor here. How we do it on the thumb and the. How we do it on that?
We passed the thumb a lot last week. We had several people that said stupid things. Scott Delano, if he's watching, was the first one. Because the first thing he went to the podium and said, "Mr. Speaker," he used to be in the House. And we all went, "Ooh, you're not in the House, Delano. It's Mr. President over here." And he said a couple other things, like he said, like the gentleman from or the lady from.
Yeah, right.
We don't say that over here.
This is the Senate.
Yeah. So we got Delano pretty good, and we had 3 or 4 more that just asked questions that
he didn't keep it very long.
No, not even a day.
Not even a day.
No,
it moved around a lot. How about over?
I haven't seen those bottles, so I don't know. You know, I'm assuming somebody's got them back there somewhere, but I hadn't noticed them.
The humor.
They hadn't let it on my desk yet.
We actually have 2 thumbs. We've got one that's about hand size, like a little trophy.
Right.
Thumb up. And it's a white one, just ceramic.
Okay.
And then we got the big gold thumb. And you get the gold one, you have really said something really stupid.
You have really done something.
Yeah.
So did Delano get that one?
He actually did get the gold thumb.
That is all fun, all in fun. All in fun. That is fun, and you have to keep it a little bit on the light side, right?
Oh yeah, and then we had one House bill that someone asked to be a co-author on. They author their bills, we author our bills. That was all last week. Oh yeah. We did a lot last week.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all have been really busy.
Yeah.
And appreciate your time out every Monday with us.
We appreciate the opportunity to come.
Well, yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to be here and tell people what's going on. Mm-hmm. So
I think it means a lot, and people really kind of get an idea of what's going on over there.
Yeah,
and a lot of people walk up to me on the street in Kroger or wherever I'm at and say, "I saw the show."
Yeah, I hear it even at the Capitol.
Even at the Capitol.
I do.
And sometimes we make news. Sometimes. Anyway, thank you guys very much. Y'all have a nice, pleasant week over there, and hope the thumb gets passed around a lot. Maybe you'll find the bottle. maybe somebody will find it near you.
Yeah. Well, I just hope I don't get the thumb. But I'm very capable.
You can still get it as Speaker Pro Tem, right?
Oh, yeah, I got it at the podium one time. I was presiding, and the shades and the blinds in the back were open, and it was a glare, and I couldn't see. Mm-hmm. And there was a senator in the very back that was, wanted to be recognized. I saw him waving his hand. I was saying, counting the aye and no votes. That's what it was. And I said, I'll tell you who I said. I said, and Jackson, no. And they all started laughing. I said, uh-oh. All I could see was a silhouette of this big guy. The glare was like.
So you took your best shot.
I did. Jackson's black. He's an African American.
Okay.
It was Joel Carter, who's white. But I couldn't see anything but a silhouette.
Couldn't see him but a silhouette.
Well, they were both big guys.
I got you.
So
And you got the thumb.
They brought it up to the podium.
Personally delivered it to you.
Oh yeah.
The gold one?
Oh yeah. So, yeah, you can do some dumb things without trying sometimes.
Without trying.
Yeah.
I know, right?
So that's the only time I've received it.
Well.
But I'm not bragging because I may get it again.
Oops, I may have jinxed you today. All right, guys, I appreciate it very much. Thank y'all for being here.
Well, thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right, so we're going to step aside, and when we come back, we'll talk about what's going on this week in Pearl. We'll be right back.
Here in Pearl, we have Trustmark Park. It seats 8,500 people. It's a great venue that we have here locally. You can catch a baseball game. We have a new team, the Mississippi Mud Monsters, so we're so excited about that. And Trustmark Park, the stadium's been fully renovated. Adjacent to that, we have Bass Pro Shop, as well as the Mississippi outlets that people can come shop and enjoy and have a great time. So it's a good place to come. It's a destination spot for our city. We did a $12 million renovation to our Parks and Rec several years ago, and what we were missing was another key area for our children to come and just be able to hang out and have fun, but also have some playground equipment that was really cutting edge. I've always thought if you can get your community together, then you can have a stronger sense of community. And I think that's what Main Street brings to the table for us. And even though we're a post-World War II city and our architectural doesn't signify a downtown, we're trying to have an area that we create that people can come together and have a sense of community.
Hi, folks. Welcome back into This Week in Pearl, where we just went under the dome with Senator Dean Kirby and Representative Gene Newman. A lot of fun, a lot of humor about the gold thumb being passed around. That is pretty funny. In the bottle in the house. I do like catching up with how that's going because it's just something that the news won't report. But it is a lot of fun about what actually goes on down there at the Senate. We get to learn a lot about how that sausage is made, what bills are coming out, and there's a lot of really good ones that are coming through the legislature this year. So I'm looking forward to that. Really looking forward to the appropriations that are coming out in the next couple of weeks, because by March they're really getting into the budget debate and what that's going to look like. As Senator Kirby alluded to, the state is doing really well, and it's the best year ever. So looking forward to the future shows as we talk about the budget. All right, so what's going on in Pearl? Well, right now we're having March of the Mayor's Canned Corn Drive. So it's a canned corn drive. It's a food drive all across the metro, but in the city of Pearl, we're responsible for canned corn. It's brought to you by Extra Table Feeds, which is a nonprofit that helps fill up food pantries across our city and our county. Our job as Pearl is to collect canned corn, and you can drop them off here at City Hall. We are at 2420 Old Brandon Road in Pearl, or you can drop them off at the Pearl Senior Center, which is behind City Hall, but technically on Ballantyre. And also Pearl Fire Station 1. That's the new station that is built really up on the hill next to the cleaners. You can't miss it, right there on 80 and kind of where 80 and across from the school district office. You'll see it up on the hill. You can drop canned corn there as well. Or at the Public Safety Complex, the W.E. Slade building where the Pearl Police Department is located at 2561 Old Brandon Road. So when you're in the grocery store or the Dollar General, Family Dollar, whatever store you're in, just grab some canned corn, even if it's just one. I mean, it's what, 75 cents? Go by Save a Lot. Canned corn, 75 cents for a can, for one. Just get a handful. If you can only get one, one's great. And just drop it by the police department or fire department or here at City Hall or Senior Services. It'd be greatly appreciated. All right, so Pearl High School Theater Department has asked us to promote a fundraiser for them to help them get to Nationals in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Please purchase your ticket and join them for Murder at the Grand Junction Station and Hotel. It's going to have a delicious spaghetti dinner and help them solve a mystery. This event is held on February 20th at 6:30 p.m. in the Pearl High School Commons. So go on to their Facebook page at the Pearl High School Theater Department, and I think you can purchase your tickets there. All right, Pearl Day coming up. Major announcement happening just within the next week or so, but it will be April 25th It will start at 10 a.m. in our city park, and then at 5:30, make the trek on over to Trustmark Park for an amazing concert that we're going to have. Details are coming soon on who those artists are going to be. That's April 25th is when you will be able to participate in Pearl Day, starting at 10 o'clock in the park. Again, I'm Frank Hutton. I've enjoyed bringing This Week in Pearl to you. Hope y'all have a great week, and I'll see you next time.